What if Earth was hit? A shocking event unfolded in July 2012 that could have changed life as we know it. Just 9 days before, a colossal explosion on the Sun sent a massive cloud of charged particles hurtling through space. This event is known as a coronal mass ejection. Scientists later revealed that this particular ejection was one of the most powerful ever recorded, stronger than anything documented in over 150 years. But here's the unsettling part. If the Earth had been in that location 9 days later, we might have faced catastrophic consequences. Estimates suggest satellites could have been fried, entire power grids could have collapsed, and GPS and internet systems would have been knocked out globally. The aftermath could have taken years, even decades, to recover from. Imagine a world where your smartphone is just a useless piece of metal, and communication with the outside world is severed. Now let's rewind to January 24, 1978. In northwestern Canada, residents heard a strange rumble in the sky. Some saw a streak of light, while others felt an eerie sense of dread. They were unaware that a Soviet satellite, Cosmos 954, was plummeting towards them. Launched in September 1977, it was powered by a small nuclear reactor. When the Soviets lost control, it became a ticking time bomb. The satellite re-entered the atmosphere, scattering debris over an area larger than many countries, about 124,000 square kilometers. Recovery efforts, named Operation Morning Light, revealed about 12 large pieces of debris, some dangerously radioactive. Disturbingly, this was only 1% of the satellite. The rest was lost to the wilderness. Fast forward to the late 1990s, when the Russian Mir space station became a breeding ground for something unexpected: fungi. These weren't your average molds. They thrived in the harsh conditions of space, adapting to high radiation and microgravity. Researchers discovered that these fungi had become more resilient and aggressive, raising health concerns for the cosmonauts aboard. If such organisms can evolve this quickly, what could happen to life forms if they were to exist in space for longer periods? Now let's dive into the Vela Incident. On September 22, 1979, an American satellite detected a mysterious double flash of light over a remote ocean area. This flash resembled a nuclear explosion signature, and speculation ran wild. Was it a secret test? The government concluded it was likely a malfunction, but underwater listening systems heard acoustic signals consistent with an explosion. Adding to the mystery, sheep in Australia showed unusual thyroid irregularities, hinting at possible radiation exposure. Then there was the Great Daylight Fireball on August 10, 1972. Witnesses across the western United States saw a bright object streaking through the sky, visible for nearly 100 seconds. What made this event alarming was its proximity to Earth, only about 58 km away. If it had hit, the energy released would have rivaled a nuclear explosion, endangering the lives of countless people below. Now let's travel back to July 4, 1054. People across the globe witnessed a celestial event that appeared as two suns in the sky. Chinese astronomers and Arab scholars recorded it, while indigenous communities in the American Southwest etched it into rock carvings. What they saw was a massive star exploding, sending light across 6,500 light-years and illuminating the night sky for nearly 2 years. The remnants of that explosion, known as the Crab Nebula, can still be seen today. Imagine being in a dark room and suddenly seeing flashes of light. This was the reality for Apollo astronauts in the 1970s. They reported seeing streaks and spots while floating in space, which turned out to be cosmic rays penetrating their spacecraft. On Earth, we're shielded from these high-energy particles, but in space, they pass through astronauts' eyes and brains, creating the illusion of light. Each flash was a piece of deep space making its way through them. In 1988, the Soviet spacecraft Phobos 2 was sent to Mars but vanished without a trace. Before contact was lost, it transmitted an image of a large shadow on the Martian surface. Speculation about the shadow fueled conspiracy theories, but the official explanation was a malfunction. What really happened to Phobos 2 remains a mystery. In June 2015, the black hole V404 Cygni woke up after 26 years of silence. NASA's Swift satellite detected a surge of X-rays as it consumed material from its companion star. It became one of the brightest objects in the X-ray sky, and researchers were astonished to find its jets swinging around unexpectedly, bending spacetime in real time. On June 18, 1178, 5 monks in Canterbury saw something strange on the moon. They described it splitting apart and emitting fire and sparks. For centuries, this account puzzled historians until a geologist linked it to a specific crater. But doubts remained. Could this really be the only witnessed lunar impact in history? Finally, on June 14, 2006, a NASA satellite detected a gamma-ray burst, an explosion more powerful than anything we know. This burst lasted 102 seconds, but without the expected supernova aftermath. Scientists were left scratching their heads as the cause defied existing explanations. What about the ISS in 2018? A small leak was discovered in a Russian capsule. Initially thought to be a micrometeorite impact, closer inspection revealed a clean hole, suggesting sabotage or a manufacturing error. The truth remains elusive. Now let's talk about Kessler Syndrome. In 1978, Donald Kessler predicted a catastrophic scenario. As more objects are placed in orbit, collisions could create a self-sustaining chain reaction of debris. Today, there are hundreds of thousands of pieces of space debris, threatening satellites and the very infrastructure we rely on. The consequences of Kessler Syndrome could be devastating, leaving parts of Earth's orbit unusable for centuries. So as we look to the stars, we must wonder, how many more close calls await us in the cosmos? What happens when humanity pushes the limits of space exploration? The answers might surprise you.